Hi, ladies and gentlemen. My name's Chris Weston, Head of Research here at Pepperstone, and I want to introduce you today Justin Grossbard, co-founder of Compare Forex Brokers here in Melbourne, and obviously been doing that since 2016. Welcome to the program, Justin.
Thanks, Chris. It's always a delight to come across the road, fellow Melburnians, see one of my favourite brokers. So looking forward to today.
Well, good stuff. Now, I just want to pick your brains a little bit. You've been doing this for 6 years. You set up Compare Forex Brokers 6 years ago with Noam. Do you want to tell us a little bit about why you decided to go down that road?
Okay, I think it's really important to understand that comparing brokers properly is tough. Okay, so back in 2016, Noam and I got together and he made a Google sheet, one of the biggest Google sheets. Every broker, the costs, the platforms, it's actually very difficult to do. Yeah. Probably took him, I think, 2 to 3 weeks to make this spreadsheet. So I'm not saying anybody can make this spreadsheet, but of course, it's just too much work to do it. So the whole point of the website is to kind of show you this spreadsheet, show you our workings, and make recommendations based on the data.
Justin, you know, for people who are coming into the market and as a trader and you're looking for trusted advice, trusted intelligence, or a switcher as well, it's really important to know, well, you know, I'm happy with this broker, I might want to go somewhere else, and you want to get that independent advice. You run a methodology in terms of how you're reviewing a different broker. Do you want to just tell us about how you go about that? You look at the efficacies, the qualities, and the weightings that you have behind those methodologies as well.
Sure. So let's break this down simply. There's 5 key factors when choosing a broker. The number one most important one is regulation. You trust regulation. Yeah. We talked about, okay, you need to choose a broker that's regulated in your area. That's really, here in Australia, it's ASIC. In the UK, it's the FCA. That's really important. After that, it comes down to brokerage. Okay, when you're trading markets, Forex, NASDAQ, whatever you're trading, if your broker's charging you high fees, just eats away at your profit.
Biggest headwind to profitability.
Absolutely. So you've got to make sure that brokerage is low. You know, the third one's got to be the trading platform. I mean, nothing's more annoying than when you've got a platform that's just difficult to use, the charting's poor, you can't make smart decisions, it's just not intelligent. So, and of course, you might want to choose a platform that is popular. Yeah. You know, lots of other brokers use it, lots of traders use it, so that could be a factor. The last 2 factors is, of course, customer service. Last thing you want to do is call up, have problems, and the person's never traded before. Yeah. That's pretty frustrating. And the range of markets. Yeah. And that's up to the individual. You may want to trade crypto, you may want to trade, you may want to trade indices. You've got to make sure the broker offers that.
We can go into those in a bit more depth in a second, but you know, Pepperstone, for people going onto the Compare Forex Brokers website, you'll see that in Australia, in the UK, and in the European jurisdictions, poll pretty well. We're one of your preferred FX brokers and spread betting brokers as well. Do you want to give us a little bit of understanding about how we rank and how that's also performed?
Sure. So Pepperstone is ranked number 1 in those 3 areas. And, you know, the obvious one is they're regulated. Okay, they've had regulation for a long period of time. Even in Europe, you know, they've got Germany regulation, UK, Australia, which you said, ASIC. So that's really important. And then we did a brokerage comparison in these regions. You're the lowest. It's that simple. So I said to you, cost is important. Everyone likes a saving. It's really important when trading markets. Pepperstone wanting that, and then finally the customer service. So just try the live chat. It's fast, it's responsive. The people know what they're doing. Trust me, some of the other brokers don't do so well.
That's right. So I want to go to those points in a little bit more depth. I want to touch on that customer service section. How do you go about measuring customer service? You actually get your hands dirty, you're calling up, getting on the phones and bits and pieces. How do you monitor that? I mean, we've done pretty well in investment trends. We've been best customer value there. But for you guys as an independent review service, effectively, how do you get your hands dirty? How do you talk about good customer service?
Sure. So you set the measure where investment trends. Investment trends is, we have heavy weightings on that because investment trends actually does surveys of real traders. So we do factor that in. And, Pepperstone's won stuff like best customer service, most satisfied, these types of awards. So this is factored in to our ratings as well. And then we'll actually, we've got a team of 6. And then when we're doing write-ups, etc., we'll actually test the live chat out, ask them some curly questions, etc. We'll look at, as I said, response times, accuracy, then we'll give a call up. We'll even send a few emails asking questions to each brokers. Some brokers don't reply. It's really interesting. So once again, you can tell when it's a local person you're speaking to who's a trader. That's what matters, and that's why Pepperstone's so strong.
I want to talk platforms quickly. Pepperstone offering MetaTrader 4, 5, CTrader, and TradingView. The integration has gone really well there. And there's technological changes that are going through in the works. But in terms of how you're sensing when you speak to traders, you're speaking to people who look at your website, how have you reviewed the platform situation? How important is it, choice of platform in your model?
Absolutely. So it's choice. That's the number one thing. You don't want a trader to force you to go with a specific platform. It can even be more controversial when there's a broker that forces you to use their platform, meaning you can't switch brokers at a later stage,
That's right.
or the community is tiny. So if you want to do copy trading, there's no one to copy trade. There's no one, you want choice. Pepperstone offers choice, and of course the TradingView, the charting, unbelievable. Yeah. So that's our highest weighting. Cool. Is what's the choice? Are they mainstream platforms? Do lots of people use this type of features, and is there a large community?
One last point is you talked about fees in depth, and they're really important. But how does this feed into the element of trust? The transparency of fees. Some people might hide their swap rates, for example. But when you're reviewing a broker, all the different brokers within that you have in your universe, how the transparency comes into trust, and trusting your broker is something that's earned over time, right? So how do you view that situation?
Absolutely. So we try to give weightings. We try to ignore brokers that refuse to give their average spreads. Yeah. So they'll say from. It's always this word from. Well, what is from? What is the average? Yeah. Now Pepperstone and several other brokers each month publish their average spreads, and they update them. So that to me is that trust factor of being transparent, and then updating factors like percentage of traders that lose money, and these other factors. That's where the transparency comes into it.
Good stuff. Well, look, don't take my word for it. Have a look at the website yourself. Go to Compare Forex Brokers for yourself and see the ratings for yourself. These are a third-party independent website, and you can understand all the breakdowns and who the brokers is that they suggest to look at as well. So don't take my word for it. Go and check out the website yourself. Thank you for today, Justin.
Thank you, Chris.